So the last thing I want to do is to give you kind of an idea of how we went through each site, at least from a visual point of view, and so you can sort of link up what we're talking about. And what we try to do is, how are we going to look at the entire base? We broke it into what we're calling areas of interest. They're just geographical areas that sort of make sense to cut up the base into these little chunks and look at them one section at a time. So they're unrelated to anything else, just make that clear. So we have area of interest 1, and what you have there is you have building 3. And as we talked about, on the top of the building, there's the optical shop, and inside World War II activities. What's key to note here is the date, March 1942, beginning of World War II. This looks almost exactly as it did during the 1939 Exposition. You have buildings 1, 2, and 3, and a parking lot right there. So if you go forward to World War II, everything changes. You torn out the fountain and the park, you have a new building, and you have a flurry of activity in this corner. That's where we called it a, what sort of base was it called?
It was a frontier base.
Frontier base for the World War II historians. Big deal, meant they could do some significant repairs, and they did, right? So you'll see that all this activity is going on 1945, and pieces of ships going back and forth inside that building. Also, the famous optical shop right in the corner there. And then you go to 1947, things are winding down, and just a shadow of its former self. It was demoted from a frontier base to something else, and never saw action after that. However, the optical shop remained, and it was eventually torn down in the 60s, late 60s. So, because of that activity during World War II, Building 3 is impacted. Because of the optical shop on top of Building 3, this sewer line, sanitary sewer line, is impacted as well. Here's just a nice little schematic we found in the depths of Building 1. The optical shop floor plan, where clearly you had some laboratories, sinks, and you can still see the hole in the floor where the drain went through, across the ceiling of Building 1, and went down and connects to the current system today. So clearly there was a drain, needs to be investigated.